Hello everyone and welcome to Old Coins TV channel. If you love exploring the world of coins, their history, value, and rare discoveries, you've come to the right place. Here, we'll share exciting information about coins from around the world, from ancient treasures to modern currency. So, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to never miss our latest videos. The $1 1982 of the United States is directly connected with the famous Susan B. Anthony dollar series, even though no official circulating coins were produced for general public use in that year, which itself makes the 1982 $1 one of the most interesting and misunderstood chapters in modern American numismatic history, because after the public rejection of the Susan B. Anthony dollar in everyday commerce, the U.S. Treasury still held massive quantities of uncent coins in storage vaults, and therefore the mint officially suspended normal production after 1981, meaning that there are no regular issue 1982 dated Susan B. Anthony dollars for circulation, yet the year 1982 remains critically important as the transition period when the dollar coin experiment was considered a failure and long-term government storage became policy. However, in 1982, the U.S. Mint did produce a small number of special 1982 dated Susan B. Anthony dollars exclusively for collectors and internal government use, and these pieces are considered extremely rare pattern or test strike issues that are seldom seen by the public, making them legendary among advanced collectors, because they represent trial strikes and experimental preparations for a possible return of the dollar coin that never fully happened. The design remains identical to the earlier issues, featuring Susan B. Anthony on the obverse designed by Frank Gasparo, surrounded by the inscriptions, "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the date 1982, while the reverse continues to show the Apollo 11-inspired eagle landing on the moon holding an olive branch, symbolizing peace and technological progress, and bearing the inscriptions, "United States of America, $1, and E pluribus unum," meaning that the artistic and patriotic meaning remained consistent even as production policy changed. Composition is the same copper-nickel clad structure of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, weight 8.1 grams, diameter 26.5 mm, and the distinctive 11-sided inner border that made the Susan B. Anthony dollar visually unique. The absence of normal 1982 circulating dollars has caused confusion among collectors and the public, leading many people to mistakenly believe they own 1982 SBA dollars when in reality most of these are altered date novelty pieces, making genuine examples extraordinarily rare and valuable. Because the mint officially resumed small-sized dollar coin production only in 1999 with the Sacagawea dollar, the year 1982 became the symbolic, quiet year that closed the chapter on the Susan B. Anthony program, and this has given the 1982 dated pieces an almost mythical status in numismatic literature. When genuine 1982 pattern or experimental SBA dollars appear in high-end auctions, they can command very high 5-figure or even 6-figure prices, depending on authentication and condition, because of their extreme rarity and historical importance, and advanced collectors treat them as museum-level artifacts rather than ordinary coins. Historically, the 1982 $1 thus represents the moment when the U.S. Mint acknowledged that the Susan B. Anthony dollar had failed to gain public acceptance, shifting strategy away from small-sized dollar coins and shaping the design philosophy of all later dollar coin programs, including the Golden Sacagawea and Presidential Series, making the 1982 $1 one of the most academically significant and fascinating non-circulating issues in modern American coinage history, remembered not for how many were made, but for how few exist and for what it symbolizes, a turning point in American monetary design, public behavior, and the legacy of honoring national heroes on circulating money. The story of the 1982 $1 goes even deeper when we explore how its non-circulating status affected collectors, the U.S. Mint, and the long-term direction of American coinage, because after warehouses were filled with millions of unused Susan B. Anthony dollars from earlier years, the government realized that producing more for circulation would only increase storage costs and public frustration, and therefore 1982 became the first full calendar year in which the dollar coin quietly disappeared from American pockets, creating a missing year that fascinates numismatists today. This absence transformed 1982 into a symbolic pause in the history of US dollar coins, making any genuine 1982 dated SBA piece incredibly important as a record of what might have been, and collectors who specialize in pattern coins and experimental strikes actively research die studies, metallurgical tests, and internal mint documents to identify authentic 1982 examples. These rare trial pieces are usually found with sharp strikes, brilliant original surfaces, and sometimes slight design differences that reveal they were not mass-produced circulation coins but controlled experimental strikes. Their survival rates are extremely low, and most known examples are held in museums or elite private collections, rarely entering the open market. From an educational and cultural point of view, the missing dollar year of 1982 is often used in numismatic literature as a case study to show how public behavior can directly influence government policy, proving that even powerful institutions like the U.S. Treasury must adapt when everyday people reject a product. In this way, the 1982 $1 has become a silent teacher, reminding collectors and historians that currency is not only about metal and face value but also about trust, convenience, and public acceptance. Over time, the mysterious nature of this year has fueled rumors, misidentifications, and even counterfeit attempts, which further increase the importance of professional authentication, making genuine 1982 Susan B. Anthony dollars some of the most respected and carefully documented artifacts in modern American numismatics, ensuring that this unique year will forever remain one of the most intriguing what-if chapters in United States coin history. Another remarkable aspect of the 1982 $1 is how its unusual status has shaped collector psychology and modern market behavior, because missing date years often become the most emotionally powerful targets for numismatists, and 1982 stands as a dramatic empty space in the regular Susan B. Anthony dollar timeline, motivating collectors to search relentlessly for any confirmed example tied to this year. Auction records show that even rumors of an authentic 1982 SBA dollar can generate major excitement and media attention in the numismatic world, proving how strongly rarity and mystery influence value beyond metal content. Educational institutions, museums, and major coin grading companies treat documented 1982 experimental strikes as historical treasures, using them to explain how the mint tested, evaluated, and eventually abandoned a coinage concept that failed to gain public acceptance. The year 1982 also directly influenced later design choices, pushing the U.S. Mint toward a golden-colored alloy for future dollar coins to visually separate them from quarters, a lesson learned directly from the Susan B. Anthony experience. Collectors also study government packaging, vault storage policies, and release documents from the early 1980s to trace how millions of unused SBA dollars were stored and later slowly released back into circulation decades later, which explains why older dated coins suddenly appeared in bank rolls in the late 1990s and early 2000s. In this way, 1982 serves as the hidden turning point between two generations of US dollar coinage, bridging the original small-size dollar experiment and the modern Sacagawea and presidential dollar programs, giving the 1982 $1 a legendary reputation not as a common coin, but as a powerful symbol of change, adaptation, and the influence of public opinion on national monetary design.